Assalamualaikum to our lecturer, Ms. Nadiatul Akmal. Today, my team and I would like to present our findings during the interview regarding Tenaga Nasional Berhad's performance management system. First things first, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Adandash bin Kamaruddan and my ID number is AM2311014739.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NUREEN KHAIRUNNISA binti KAMARUDZAMAN and my ID number is AM2311014745.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad AIMAN bin Muhammad AZMI and my ID number is AM2311014747.
Assalamualaikum. My name is PUTERI NURAZWANIE binti FAISAL and my ID number is AM2311014742.
All right, now we have introduced ourselves. Let's see what we'll be presenting today. The slides will cover 5 main topics of the presentation, which is the company's background, interview findings, analysis and critique, recommendation, and conclusion. Beforehand, for the topic regarding interview findings, all the points are based on the interview and the answers we got covered the needs of the questions we asked. So sit back and relax and let our team present our findings.
Thank you, Adam, for the introduction. Let's talk what is the meaning of performance management system. Basically, a performance management system keeps consistent and measurable records of how well workers do their jobs. Several technologies and methods are used together in the system to make sure that everyone in the company is working towards the same strategies, goals as the business. According to the system, managers and employees work together to set standards, set goals, decide how to measure performance, share performance review and appraisal, and give feedback. A performance management method makes workers more productive overall when it is clearly defined and used consistently.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the importance of performance management system for a company. As we know, PMS can help the company to achieve organizational objectives. This is to ensure that the objective of each individual employee are in line with the encouraging goals of the organization. It also helps to build motivation and engagement by demonstrating how each function contributes to the larger mission of the organization. Secondly, boosting productivity by establishing clear performance expectations and providing regular feedback. Performance management empowers employees to focus their efforts on tasks directly linked to organizational success, thereby enhancing productivity. And last point we can give is employee development opportunities. Through regular evaluations, employees receive feedback on their strengths and areas for improvement, enabling them to identify and address skill gaps through avenues such as training, mentoring, or challenging assignments. These 3 points cover some of the importance of performance management system.
So the purpose and the reason for the interview that we have conducted was to gather on what appraisal method does Tenaga Nasional Berhad uses to evaluate their employee. What feedback mechanism they use to give a feedback towards the employee, what employee development program are given to the workers who are underperforming, and what communication channels are used to convey the evaluation to the employees regarding their performance or gain any feedback that want to be given to them.
All right, thank you all for explaining during the introduction. Now let us dive deeper into Tenaga Nasional Berhad company background. First, let's start off with the company's name. TNB was originally not named as Tenaga Nasional Berhad, as it didn't exist at the time, as the Lembaga Elektrik Pusat Central Electricity Board was established and came into operation on 1st September 1949. Then on June 22, 1965, Central Electricity Board (CEB) of the Federation of Malaya was renamed to the Lembaga Elektrik Negara Nasional Electricity Berhad (NEB) of the states of Malaya. And by the 1980s, the board was supplying the whole peninsula with electricity, replacing the Perak River Hydroelectric Power Company, PRHEP. Then on 4th May 1988, Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad announced the government's decision on a policy of privatization, which is, the company now. Two pieces of legislation were passed to replace the Electricity Act and to provide for the establishment of a new corporation, Tenaga Nasional Berhad, TNB, which was formed in 1990 by the Electricity Supply Successor Company Act 1990. And on the right, we can see the company logo, right? There's nothing special about it. It only shows a light bulb and the name of the company. That's just a basic design of what the company is for, electricity. All right, that's for the company name and company logo.
Thank you, Adam. Now, let me explain about the company's mission and vision. For TNB's mission, it states that they want to be a leading provider of sustainable energy solutions in Malaysia and internationally. What we understand from this is that TNB wants to be the forefront of the energy industry, not just in Malaysia, but globally. Also, they aim to provide energy solutions that are environmentally friendly, such as solar, wind, and hydropower. Lastly, TNB's mission extends beyond its home market of Malaysia to encompass a global presence. This indicates TNB's aspiration to expand its operations and influence beyond national borders, seeking opportunities to contribute to the development of sustainable energy infrastructure and solutions on an international scale. Now, for their vision, TNB wants to be the leading utility company globally respected for performance, innovation, and sustainability. This vision is what they set on for their future as it encompasses the mission statement too.
Now let's take a look at the important key personnel of Tenaga Nasional Berhad. On far left, we have Dato' Abdul Razak bin Abdul Majid. He is the chairman of TNB. Beside him is Dato' LR Megat Jalaluddin bin Megat Hassan. He is the CEO of TNB. Next to him is Ong Aileen. She is the Senior Independent Non-Executive Director of TNB. Also, they have two independent non-executive directors, which is Gopala Krishnan, anak lelaki Sundaram, and also beside him, Datuk Roslina binti Zainal. These five figures are the main personnel of Tenaga Nasional Berhad.
Now, let's take a look at what product and services that Tenaga Nasional Berhad offers to its consumers and the government. I am just going to list down the P and S of the Tenaga Nasional Berhad because during the interview we did not understand much because we are business students, so starting on the top left. So first we have a power quality services and mitigation. Second, we have post lejang micro hydro. And the next is Tersat mini hydro. Next, operation and maintenance of solar hybrid stations. Iskandar Malaysia 10, IM10, Malacca substation maintenance, renewable energy plant rehabilitation works, and smart meter installation.
Okay. Thank you, Aiman, for explaining the products and services that are provided by TNB. Again, we don't understand each point because it's not our forte, so we'll move on to the company's PMS. All right, interview findings. Let's dive into our interview findings. Let's start with their appraisal methods. The Tenaga Nasional Berhad's primary tool for appraisal method is OBITS. What is OBIT? Well, OBIT is outcome-based indicator tracking system. During the interview, they told us that OBIT is used to evaluate the employee's performance after the employee has completed a task. Let's take this for an example, right? During the interview, they told us when a technician is done with a project, the evaluator will evaluate their performance based on how they perform. I would like to show the evaluation form, but due to confidential reasons, my team and I were not able to provide one, but we understood what OBIT was used for. Next is, from our standing, the method they use is 360-degree feedback method. Basically, how TNB's 360-degree feedback method works is when a technician completes a task such as installing a smart meter, like how AIMAN said, at a customer's house, the technician will give them a QR code to scan, and the QR code will lead them to a Google form where the customer can give a feedback to the technician about their performance, and then the data will be used by the evaluator to see how the worker has performed. So this is, in 360 degrees, there's the customer, peers, and everybody. So yeah.
Now, let's take a look at the example of Orbit's PMS cycle. One of the examples we can say is they have KPI setting. From our understanding, KPI setting is done at the early year whereby the higher ups of the company will set a key performance index for their employees. Again, our team would like to show the KPI setting, but due to restriction, we cannot get any answer regarding the KPI setting and how and what they set for. But from our guests, they probably set KPI for customer satisfaction, operational efficiency and health, safety and environment. Furthermore, their next PMS cycle is technical competency setting. Technical competency setting refers to the process of defining and establishing the specific technical skills, knowledge, and abilities required for effective performance in a particular role or field. And lastly is YEET. YEET is a year-end evaluation discussion. This process is done at the end of the year. The evaluator will reveal the employee's performance on orbits and the employee can see their rating. Either it is good or it is bad.
Okay, so now let's take a look at what employee development program offered by Tenaga Nasional Berhad. So during the interview, they only provide us 2 employee development program. The first one is reskilling, smart meter. This program is provided to employees who are lacking in the skills regarding the installation of smart meters. The interviewee told us even the employees who are proficient in the installation of smart meter, those employees still must join the reskilling program, as this program can still help the employee to advance their knowledge and skill. The next is NIOSH Tenaga Safety Passport. The NIOSH Tenaga Safety Passport Training is a safety certification program offered by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, NIOSH Indonesia. It's specifically tailored for the energy sector, including organizations like Tenaga Nasional Berhad, TNB. The purpose of this safety passport is to ensure the employees working in the energy sector have the necessary knowledge and awareness of occupational safety and health, or OSH, standards, regulation and practice to perform their duty safely.
Now, I would like to explain about the communication channels used to inform about the employees' feedback. Yes, we inform that Orbit is the primary form, but the way they announce it is different. The interviewee told us they use internal communication channel as the announcement is private, and they don't use external communication channel. Okay, for me, the evaluator will send out an email to the employees about the goals they want them to hit, the KPI they have set, and the announcement about the result of their evaluation. Next is meeting. Meeting is the most common form that any company uses. And the interviewee told us the meeting will be conducted every few months. We did request an example of an email between evaluator and the employee, but again confidential. But there are challenges when evaluating the employee by the evaluator. The interviewee told us it is difficult to give a rating if the employee and the evaluator is close. So they told us they will rotate them to the other evaluator who are not close to them. Next is the evaluator cannot give a perfect score even though the employee did a fantastic job. So if they want to give them those scores, they must give a solid reason why they deserve a 5 to the highest ups. Lastly, it is hard to get promoted if the evaluator don't evaluate the employee properly. So this is why they use the 360-degree feedback so that the evaluation can be fair. These points are based on the answer we got during the interview.
All right. Yeah, true. All the points are based on them. So any answers that we uh, talk about this moment, right, is solely by them. So yeah. Okay. Uh, Now I would like to explain about the challenges that we experienced during the interview. Okay. The first challenge was we couldn't get their evaluation form. The interview told us that the HR department would not let them show the company's evaluation form to the student, as you know it has because it already has the name, the ID, and whatnot. They didn't have a blank slate because they already did the evaluation. Second is limited information. Most information that we wanted to obtain was confidential, so we did not have a choice and stick to the information we had in hand. So that's why some of our answers are um, not how we would like to explain, but it's okay. The third one is HR representative wasn't there during the interview. We only got to talk to a lead engineer, but the interviewee, which is a lead engineer, had the knowledge regarding the company's PMS system as they too evaluate their own employees because, you know, in lead engineer, they have their own workers below them. So they know how to evaluate them. All right. Those are the three challenges that we have faced during the interview.
So next, for the analysis and critique, we will give a group perspective. For the analysis, the way TNB evaluates their employee regarding their performance is quite basic, which is they use a 360-degree rating, because this form of method is a way to common and can have an overlap with the way the evaluator evaluates their employee. And for our critique is TNB should utilize more than one form of method as it could help the evaluator to evaluate their employees in such a way better.
Okay. As for our recommendation is they should use different form of evaluation system as it could reduce bias. By using multiple evaluation methods, it can help mitigate bias in performance assessments. Relying solely on one method, such as a manager's subjective judgment, may introduce biases based on personal preference, stereotypes, or halo effects. By incorporating diverse evaluation methods, companies can gather a more balanced and objective view of employee. And also tailored to individual roles, different roles within an organization may require different evaluation criteria and methods. For instance, sales role may focus on revenue targets and client satisfaction surveys, while technical roles may emphasize skills assessment and project outcomes. Using varied evaluation methods allow companies to tailor assessment to the specific requirements of each role.
And then in conclusion, based on the interview we got, the information was quite limited. But we managed to get a somewhat wide perspective regarding their performance management system. Even though they use only one form of evaluation methods, they still told us they can evaluate their employees sometimes with perfect, but sometimes challenges appear. The system that was set up for them is unstable.
Okay. What Aiman meant by unstable is sometimes when they this is how the interview told us when they want to evaluate sometimes they can't even access the system, but it's okay. They still manage to figure out how they can evaluate their employees, their workers beneath them with fairness. All right. uh, I think that is all. Thank you so much for listening and hoping that the information that we have collected is correct and understandable. Before we end the video, here are some pictures that we took during the interview. Again, thank you. Okay, as we can see on the left side, wearing the blue shirt is the lead uh, engineer. Okay, Radwa Akmal. He did a fantastic job explaining of the company's PMS and what they do, and showed us, around the company. Okay, these three pictures are basically the meeting room that we had during the interview, right? They explain what everything we needed on the screen, so it was sort of laid out for us, but we still had to ask questions that wasn't laid out, right? That is all. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum.